Hello everyone, I am Bradley Sward, Associate Professor of Computer and Information Science at the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen, Illinois. And this video is a follow-up video for the 2021 Advent of Code Day 1 Sonic Sweep. I have previously done a video as fast as I possibly could in C++ last night, and I am tired this morning because I stayed up an extra hour later trying to get this thing done. And now I have a Python version. And here is the whole thing, nothing but the thing, so help me goodness. So let me describe this a second time for those of you who are new to this video or new to this problem and have not seen my other video, because why would you watch it in both? Why would you watch it in both C++ and Python? Nobody has a clue. So first thing I need to do is open the data and get the data going. And here is my data. There's 2,000 data points. These numbers are going up, 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 but they're kind of going down at the same time, right? So that is my file. And so I have read all of that into a list. I have this all going here, or is it a list? What do I call that? I think it's a list, whatever it's called. It's been a while since I've used Python, but it's all coming back to me. It's like riding a bike. So with open data.txt, that was my file as f. Take everything from the file, read it in token for token, and turn the strings into integers. So now I have a list full of integer values, and I'm going to call it 1. And you don't know this when you're doing the first part, that you're only doing one measurement at a time, but you definitely figure it out when you do the second part, when they're like, okay, now we need a rolling average pretty much of 3 at a time to see if things are going up or down. So the data is in, and of course it's a one-liner when you know the one-liner. When you need to print out the number of increases for this part 1, that all you're basically doing is going element for element, and you're checking, is the current element larger than the previous element? That's all you're doing, and just summing up the number of increases that you see. And as always, if you guys know better Python to get this done, those of you who have more Python experience, I'm a C++ guy, and I'm a gaming guy, an assembly language guy. That's what I've been teaching for the last few years. But if you know any better way, I'd love to learn. I put out this information for you guys, and then I love it when you guys can give me back and teach me at the same time. That's what part of the joy of making these videos is, things like that. But anyway, so I start from 1. I don't, just so I can go to the end of the data, and I work my way backwards. So I say, okay, data I, are you greater than the previous value? And by starting at 1, I don't go out of range. So because data 1 is greater than data 0. And then when I get to the end, then I check the last one against the last piece of data against the previous from there. So, or maybe it's +1. Maybe I need a +1 here. I don't necessarily. Well, I don't want to check it out. I have it working, and maybe you need the +1. Maybe you don't. Comment below. Let me know. I'll fix it up if I have to. Or at least I'll leave a comment in the stuff for that. So anyway, that's all I need to do is just figure that out. How many times do I increase as I go from element to element, and I print that out. That does part 1. Let me comment this out so you don't get the answer just yet. But I run this, and I get the answer of 1,477 for the data that I have. Maybe you'll get different answers. I do not know how they worked it out. If everybody gets different data these days, it's been a year, and I'm the only one doing this, as far as I know, of my friends and people that I know. Anyway, so now part 2. Instead of going 1 piece of data at a time, I need to do 3. So if you notice that basically the function call is going to be exactly the same. That's why I made this into a function, so I don't have to duplicate the code like I did in my C++ example when I was just rushing this thing out the door. But now what I'm doing is I'm creating a whole new list from the previous list, and instead of taking everything 1 at a time, I'm doing my rolling average. So basically the first element is, hey, what is the data at data element 2 plus data element 1 plus data element 0? What are the 3 of those combined? Put that into the list and go crazy, and then just keep going until you hit the end. And maybe I need a +1, maybe I don't. It works for me this way, but I don't know the end. What if I add another value that doesn't seem to follow suit? So that's the only true difference, is taking the data when it's 1 by 1 by 1 in just a straight up list and modifying it so it's basically every element is a sum of the 3 elements and just go crazy on it. Figure out which average is going up over time. So that covers everything that needs to be done for this video for part 1. As always, then, thanks for sticking it out with me. Thanks for, you probably didn't, how much of this did you watch when I give you the answer, I give you the code right away? But I appreciate you guys watching these videos and commenting, and I enjoy making them, especially this time of year. The advent of code is fun when I have the time to do it. And hope to see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take care. See you then.